passionate and more competitive, me or my former coach, Coach Dotson. And I learned a lot from him about being competitive and passionate about being successful. And so it's a unique night. And I am a pastor, and for that reason, I'll probably have to leave out here in a little bit. So I don't want to say a whole lot. I won't let Isaiah say most of it. But I'm guessing what he's going to share with you is something that's been pretty hard for our family over the last month. And it hit me three ways. It hit me, first of all, as a coach who he's been waiting on these next couple of years for a long time. We're still going to be successful, but as a coach watching a player have to say, well, I got to hang it up for the year, that's tough. And then it's been difficult for me as a pastor of trying to explain to young athletes, and I've had to do that many times in many different situations with my players. We've battled a lot of things with some of my former players, a lot of heavy things. And it's hard sometimes as a pastor to be able to explain to young men and women why certain things happen. And then obviously it's very tough as a dad to not be able to fix what he's going to share with you, I guess, a little bit about. And so as Gary told me out there that I needed to share this a little bit, I started thinking, what would God have me read for you tonight as an aged pastor? And I'm going to read just a scripture out of 2 Timothy 2 Timothy 2. And in that passage, this is Paul, the very last thing that he writes. And I want you to understand that Paul's about to die. And he's handing the torch off to the next leader. And I'm looking out here and I'm seeing a lot of next leaders in our church. I'm looking at the next leaders of the battle that we're in. This is not Zion or Mount Olive or Glen Morgan. This is the church, and the church is on their own battlefield. And so as I think of that, and I think of what God reminds me of as we deal with this as a family a little bit, it comes in 2 Timothy 2, and as Paul is instructing Timothy after many years of battling for Christ, he says, no man that, he tells us first in verse 3, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. Endure difficulties as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. No man that goes to war will entangle himself with the affairs of this life, but he wants to please him who's chosen him to be a soldier. What that means simply is we're all in a battle that we can't see tonight. And it's not church specific. It's not age specific. It's not your mom and dad's battle, but it's your battle. And it's here at Central High School every day. And it's every day you step foot out of your house. And the battle is not with injuries, and the battle is not with people, but the battle is with the enemy that will come into this young man's mind and in your mind through difficulties. He'll come to you at times in which life doesn't make sense. He'll come to you at times when life doesn't work out. And he'll try to get you to be a bad soldier, a soldier that's ready to give up, a soldier that's ready to wave the white flag. Or he'll come with distractions, drugs and alcohol and peer pressure. And he'll try to make you a very poor soldier for Jesus Christ. And so Paul told his next leader, be a good soldier. A soldier that doesn't get distracted. A soldier that keeps his eyes on the battle. And a soldier that even when things is hard, knows that victory is just around the corner. Because we are victorious in Jesus Christ. My word for you before Isaiah comes is endure hardness as a good soldier. And we're all in the same fight. And you're the leaders of tomorrow in this fight. And this fight's been going on long before me. And it'll go on long after me. And it's bigger than any one of us and any one of our churches. We need to be as one in the fight as good soldiers, okay?
Well, first, before I begin, I want to thank God for the talent He's given me as an athlete and as a person. Second, I want to thank my family for raising me the way a child should be. And then third, I want to thank my youth group for coming and supporting. I don't know if I'm going to make it. How many people like injuries? Okay, so I'm going to break down probably the last 7 to 8 months of my life. Let's see, back in April, I'm playing basketball in a tournament in Johnson City. I come down and I break my ankle, fracture my ankle. No rough, nothing too bad. Most of you know what it's like to break a bone. Out for a couple months. Well, this was frustrating for me as an athlete because I'm playing AAU basketball, and they say the biggest time for your recruitment to be a college basketball player is the spring of your sophomore year going into your junior year. So I break my ankle in the spring, and I have to miss all summer of AAU basketball of playing in front of college coaches and getting my name out there. Frustrating. Well, I probably didn't handle that the way I probably, as God's soldier, should have. I handled that the wrong way. I didn't do what I was supposed to, and I just kind of got lost, per se. So those 4 months, per se, it was tough because as an athlete, you want to go and compete, and you want to be able to play, and I couldn't. So, and most of you know I'm an extremely competitive person. So then we flash forward to first game of football. I finally get to play. Didn't know if I was going to get to play during the summer because I was, was I going to make it back in time? Was I going to be ready? Well, I was ready. I made it back. I played. And I would say I played well. I mean, it felt better being out there competing, and I played well. And then, 5 games later, I go down against Graham. I just planted my foot, and it gave out like that, and I heard a pop. And and it didn't hurt, wasn't extremely painful. I walked off the field, I believe. With a little help, I walked off the field, and I went into halftime, taped it up, and I felt okay. Felt like I was going to play. No, didn't end up playing the rest of that game. Played the next game. The next week during practice, it goes out again while I'm wearing a brace. And most people know that's not a good sign. So we go get MRI and everything, and I had a peace about it. I was like, MRI's going to come back fine. I'm going to play the next Friday night. Well, Friday, the game, Dad called me, said, Isaiah, probably not a great idea. He was out of town, said, Isaiah, probably not a great idea. You play. So I was like, okay. So, I wore my brace on the sideline. I was crouching on the sideline, cheering on my team. And Friday night after the game, we're in the car, and they broke the news to me. I'd torn my ACL. It's rough, but it's okay. It was rough. I'm coming home. It hit me hard. I was crying. I was in pieces. It was a rough car ride home. I got back in the house, and all the family had came, and just to be around, being together as a family should be. After that, I felt a peace about it, and most of you know the Saturday after, you probably saw it, I sent out a tweet that's saying, I don't know why this has happened, but God has a reason and God has a plan. And that's kind of been the motto ever since. And it really, before surgery, I was walking around still. I was able to walk around school, crutch around, get around okay. Wouldn't have surgery. World changer. I'm barely even walking out of the bed. I can't even get out of the bed to go to the bathroom. I'm having to scream at Mom, tell her to give me my crutches so I can just get to the bathroom. It's rough. And one night it hit me hard. It just hit me. I started crying. I was in tears. Like, God, why? Why me? Why am I going to have to go through this for, I'm going to have to miss basketball. I'm going to have to probably miss most of spring, miss tennis. I might make it back for summer camps in basketball during the summer. And it hit me. And then Dad was in there, and we're in there together, and I finally calmed down. And Dad sends me these videos so he wanted me to watch the next day because I'm laid up in bed out of school. And it's Louis Giglio, and he's talking about a story. And one of the verses that came to my mind that stuck with me that whole time during that video was Joshua 1:9, and it says, Have not I commanded thee, be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord my God is with thee wherever you go. And that hit me. I was like, man, if I just trust in Him, something's going to work out. This is going to be for the better. This is going to be for Him. Who knows? I'm just here to tell my story. Who knows what it'll affect? That's just kind of the way I've lived by it, that's how I'm going to live by it these next, whoever knows, however many months. I just know that my trust is going to be in Him, and my faith is going to be in Him. That what reason this has happened, it's for Him, and however what happens afterwards is going to be for Him. I guess that's all I got. Thank you very much.